I gifted my wife Vegas. The first voicemail began with a scream. "Baby, please answer me, please!" Then another. Different voice, same desperation. Then another and another until my inbox was overflowing with their panic. Her friends, her accomplices. The same pack that laughed while she tore me down under the neon haze of whiskey and cruelty. 160 missed calls. Every number I knew. Every number she used to hide behind. I didn't answer. Instead, I sat in silence, letting their voices claw against the speaker. Each plea, each tear-soaked word was a song I had waited to hear. I played them one by one, sipping my coffee slowly, savoring the collapse. By the fifth message, I smiled. Not a warm smile, something else, a recognition. The parasite was starving, and it was beautiful. I remember the first crack in the mask. It wasn't the roast, not yet. That night was simply the performance's climax. It was earlier, quiet, mundane. She looked at me while I read the dinner menu she claimed she'd dreamt about for months. A steakhouse she once whispered about like it was a cathedral. But her eyes weren't grateful. They were calculating. That look didn't say thank you. It said, prove yourself. I brushed it aside, pretended I hadn't seen it. That's what men like me do. We ignore small cuts until the bleeding becomes obvious. And then came Vegas. The hotel suite overlooking the strip. The helicopter passes, shimmering under the table light. The bottle of champagne chilling in crystal. She didn't see gifts. She saw weakness, a leash. At her friend's roast, she let the poison spill. The mic shaking in her hand as liquor blurred her words. This desperate man thinks buying me shit makes him special. He treats me like his little purse dog. Her friends howled. And then she waved my gift. Helicopter passes, like I'm some basic tourist. My ex took me on private jets. Their laughter burned. And one friend, louder than the rest, shouted, "Girl, just dump him already." She laughed. That was the moment. Not rage, not humiliation, just silence. A silence that stretched through my chest like steel wire, tightening with each breath. I knew then. This wasn't a marriage. It was a stage. And I was the fool dancing for scraps of applause. The next morning, while she slept, I began pulling threads. Her phone, carelessly unlocked, face down. Patterns revealed themselves like rot under wallpaper. Late-night messages, numbers saved under false names. A thread of girl trips that never existed. Receipts, private charges I never saw on our shared accounts. A picture, her smile wide and glowing, but not for me. I didn't react, not outwardly. When she woke, I kissed her shoulder, brewed her coffee, and asked if she slept well. My voice carried no tremor, no edge, just calm. Inside, I was already filing evidence. I had access to everything. Every account, every card, every key. The law firm taught me patience, paper trails, how truth never hides for long. So I traced her lies the way I would dismantle a rival company, quietly, surgically, until only the carcass remained. DNA tests, phone records, surveillance from private investigators I hired with the same dispassion I'd order a contract drafted. She never suspected, because parasites never look at the host until the blood stops flowing. The results arrived on a Wednesday, delivered in a plain envelope slipped under my office door. I read them once, slowly, each line a blade pressed against the skin of my illusions. Infidelity confirmed, documented, photographed, multiple men. Some names I recognized from her laughter-filled circle. And then, the final blow. The child she wanted, the family she dangled like bait. Not mine. Never would be mine. That night, I slid the envelope across the marble counter as she sipped wine. She laughed mid-story, before her eyes fell to the papers. Her hands trembled. The glass slipped, shattered across tile. She looked at me, horror widening her pupils. What is this?" I didn't answer. Silence. My greatest weapon. She flipped page after page, her breath breaking into sobs, until finally she whispered, "Please, it's not what it looks like." I let the words rot in the air. Because for the first time, I didn't need to respond. The truth already had. The roast had been her stage. Now, this was mine. I took the mic that night with calm precision, the laughter still echoing. "Actually, you're right. Dogs are loyal. You're more like a parasite. And I bet you'll crawl back on your knees." Then I walked out. I canceled everything. The suite, the dinners, the helicopter tour. Every card, every account tied to my name, shut. By sunrise, her world collapsed. She woke to nothing. No access, no lifeline. Her friends discovered their tabs no longer covered, their perks withdrawn. The glamorous circle that fed on my generosity evaporated overnight. And then the calls began. First hers, then theirs. Voicemails of panic, fear, bargaining. Each one another nail sealing her coffin of isolation. She wanted me to break, to beg, to fight for her scraps of attention. Instead, I did the unthinkable. I vanished. This morning, the city outside was alive. Cars, voices, light, all moving forward, unaware that somewhere a woman sat in ruins, dialing numbers that would never answer. I listened to the last voicemail twice. Her voice cracked, drenched in terror. "Please, I'll do anything. Don't leave me like this. I need you. I need you." Need. That was the truth. She never loved me. She only needed me. But parasites can't survive once the host refuses to bleed. I deleted the messages, blocked every number, sat back in my chair and closed my eyes. The silence was pure. The kind of silence you only hear after a storm has gutted the earth clean. And in that silence, I understood. I wasn't her dog. I was her reckoning.